Discuss about the speed. So speed is equals to what? Speed is nothing but rate of change of distance with respect to time. That is what we can say, distance traveled divided by time taken. Okay, so distance traveled divided by time taken. So what we can write, we can denote it by v also. So if I denote it by v, distance I will write as d divided by t. Don't worry, in some books distance they may take s also. Okay, so some books they may take distance as x divided by time, whatever. So normally we'll take distance by time, so v equals to d by t. Suppose if you know velocity is given and time is given. If they are asking for d, can you get from here? So d equals to what? D equals to p into t. So if you know the velocity and time, you can calculate what? You can calculate the distance. Or if they given velocity and distance, if they are asking for t, if they are given velocity and distance, if they are asking for time, so you take time over here. So what will happen? This will come here. So d divided by p. So this will give you what? This will give you the time. So if they give distance time, you can calculate velocity. If they give velocity time, you can calculate distance. If they give distance velocity, you can calculate time. Okay. So we have also discussed about the what types of the speeds. So that is what uniform speed. So uniform speed means what? The object or vehicle covers equal distance. Remember, just recall the last class. Equal distance in equal time. Equal distance in equal time. Okay. So non-uniform. You already know the definition. Just I am highlighting. So in non-uniform what? In non-uniform, unequal distance in equal time interval. Unequal distance in equal time interval. So similarly, average is what? It is nothing but total distance divided by total time. It is nothing but ratio of total distance covered to total distance time. Okay, so total time taken. So next is what? Instantaneous. So instantaneous speed is what? It is nothing but so the speed at a given instant. Okay, speed at a given instant or given instant of time. Okay, so this is what uniform speed, non-uniform speed, average speed and instantaneous speed we have discussed in the last class. So today I am going to concentrate on the average speed. So in the average speed, what you can write? Average speed, you can denote it by v average also, or normally you can say v also. So this is what? Total distance divided by total time. So suppose a vehicle travels say d1 distance in t1, d2 in t2, so on like, or d3 in t3 time, d4 in t4 time, like that. So what we can write? We can write v average is equals to d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus d4 divided by t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4. So this we have discussed in the last class. You know that. So suppose a vehicle covers first half of distance, say in 5 minutes or 5 seconds. It will cover some 10 meter, and in next 15 meters. Next 15 seconds. So in next 15 seconds it will cover say some 50 meters. Okay. So now if you want to calculate what is the average velocity or average speed, so v equals to d1 plus d2, that is 10 plus 50. divided by 5 plus 15. So this will become what? 60 divided by 20. So that is going to be what? 3 meter per second. Okay. Special cases. So in case of average speed, suppose if distance is not given, if distance is not given, okay, that means you have the you have some total distance. So in time t1 or t2, t3, say t4, in t1 time, so what they are given, instead of giving the distance, they are given it is traveling with a velocity v1. So in t2 time it is traveling with a velocity v2. In t3 time it is traveling with a velocity v3. In t4 time it is traveling with a velocity v4. Now if they ask what is average speed, so how we can calculate? Simple. So what we know, we know that average speed, the average speed is equals to what? So I will write this symbol. So what is that? P average is equals to, so what you can write, d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus d4 divided by t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4. Okay. So times are given, don't worry about that one, so you can write the times, but d1, d2, d3, d4 are not given. Okay. So how to replace this with the help of v and t? We already know that this is what you can write it as v1 is equals to d1 divided by t1. So can we get d1 here? So d1 is what? d1 is nothing but v1 into t1. Okay. Similarly here, v2 equals to d2 divided by t2. So what you will get? d2 is nothing but v2 into t2. Similarly v3 is what? d3 divided by t3. So what you can write? You can write t3 equals to v3 into t3. So v4 is equals to what? v4 is equals to d4 divided by t4. d4 divided by t4. So what you can write? You can write d4 is equals to, take t4 on this side, so v4 into t4. So now you got d1, d2, d3, d4. Substitute here. If you substitute here, so v average will become, so in place of d1 what you have to write? v1 into t1. So v1 into t1 plus v2 t2 plus v3 t3 plus v4 t4 whole divided by, so what you can write? t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4. So this is what average speed only in terms of time, and velocity. Distance is not going to be in the equation. So this is what they call it as the time averaged speed. Time average speed means what? We are writing this speed only in terms of time and velocity. Okay. So now it is simple. You know t1, t2, t3, t4, v1, v2, v3, v4. So you can substitute the values, you will get the answer. Okay. So now suppose t1 is equals to t2 is equals to 3 is equals to t4. If all these times are equal, so I will take generally t. So what your equation will be? Equation will be v1 into t plus v2 into t plus v3 into t plus v4 into t whole divided by t1 plus t plus t plus t plus t. So what is the common here? Common is t. So t take outside. So v1 plus v2 plus v3 plus v4 divided by. So this is what? T plus t plus t plus. So 4t. So what will happen? This t will get cancelled. v1 plus v2 plus v3 plus v4 whole divided by 4. This is what average. Okay. But directly you cannot take this formula. If and only if time interval is same, then you can directly take average value of all the speeds. But if times are different, we have to go with what? We have to go with this formula. So don't by heart the formulas. Directly remember this one and how this came. How this came, that also have to remember. Okay. So remember this formula is we find only if T1, T2, T3, so on like they are same. Otherwise, you have to go with this formula. If there are n number of distances and times, you can go with that one. V1 what V1 T1 plus V2 T2 plus V3 T3 plus V4 T4 plus V5 T5 till n. So divided by T1 plus T2 plus T3 till n. Okay. So like that you can calculate the average speed with the help of time and velocity. So now if I take an example on this one. So when the velocity and times are given. So if I take an example, suppose a vehicle is traveling or a vehicle is moving. What for initial 10 seconds. For initial 10 seconds, it will travel with a velocity of 50 meter per second. Okay. So next 20 seconds, it will travel with a velocity of 100 meter per second. Getting? So for first 10 seconds, speed is 50 meter per second. For next 20 seconds, speed is what? 100 meter per second. What they are asking? They are asking what is the average speed. They are asking what is the average speed. So how we can calculate? V1 is given. So V1 is what? V1 is 50 meter per second. V2 is what? V2 is 100 meter per second. T1 is 10 seconds and T2 is what? 20 seconds. You know V1, T1, V2, T2, V1, T1, V2, T2 and T1, T2 you know, so you can easily get the V average. So V average is equals to V1, T1 plus V2, T2 divided by T1 plus T2. Okay. Then they have given the velocities for first time interval, they are given the velocities for second time interval. They are not given what is the distance. Okay. So that we can calculate with the help of this one. So V average is equals to. So V average, what is V1? 50 into T1 is what? 10 plus this is what? 100 into what is T2? T2 is what? 20. So divided by 10 plus 20. So 10 plus 20. So what you will get? This is what? This will become 500 plus this will become what? This will become some 2000. So divided by 30. So this is what? 2500 divided by 30. So what will we get? So this will get cancelled. So 3 ones are 3, 3 8 are 24. So 24. Then 10. So some 3.3. So what you will get? You will get some 83.3 meter per second. That is what the average speed. That is what the average speed the vehicle can travel for a total interval of time. Okay. Now they may ask, possibility I am telling. Now they may ask, what is the total distance? They may ask what is the total distance also. So from this, can you calculate the d? So d is what? D is v into t. What is v? 50 into 10. So this is what? 500. Here d2. d2 is what? d2 is v2 into t. So that is v is what? 100 into what? 20. So this will become what? Some 2000. Okay. So total distance is what? So total distance is going to be, so d1 plus d2 is what? 500 plus 2000. So equals to what? It is 2500. So that is what the distance. If they ask distance, you can do this much only. If they ask average, you can go with this formula. Okay. So we can manipulate the formula however we want and what they are asking. Based on the question, we have to manipulate the formula. In average speed, so I will go with one more case, that is what? If In last case, what was not given? Distance was not given, time was given. So now, if time is not given, if time is not given, if time is not given and distance is given, then distance and velocities are given. Suppose object go from here to here. Say this is distance d1, distance d2, distance d3, say d4. Okay. So it is going from A to B. d1, d2, d3, d4 are the what distances traveled. Time is not given. Instead of that, for first distance d1, it was having velocity v1. For first 10 km, velocity was say some 50 km per hour. For next distance, velocity is v2. Again for next d3, velocity was v3. Next v4. Okay. Distance is given, velocity is given, but time is not given. But what they are asking to calculate average velocity. They are asking to calculate average velocity. But what we have the formula? We have formula d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus d4. So divided by t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4. So d1, d2, d3, d4 so are there. But what about t1, t2, t4? They are not given. Instead of that, what they have given? They have given the p1, v2, v3, p4. Again we know that p equals to what? D by t. If you want time, take t here. So v will come here. So d divided by v. So time we can write it as d by v. So time we can write it as d by v. So what I can write here is v1 is equals to d1 by t1. It implies that t1 is equals to what? d1 divided by v1. v1 will come here, t1 will go here. Similarly, v2 equals to, we know that d2 by t2. d2 by t2. d2 is not given, so t2 is what? t2 is d2 divided by v2. Okay. So similarly, v3 is equals to d3 by t3 implies that t3 is equals to d3 divided by v3. t3 is equals to d3 divided by v3. Similarly, v4 is equals to d4 by t4. So t4 is equals to d4 divided by v4. Okay. So what you got? You got t1, t2, t3, t4. So you can substitute now here. So what is the average speed? Average speed is equals to d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus d4 divided by. So in place of t1, what you can substitute? You can substitute d1 by v1. You can substitute d1 by v1 plus in place of t2, d2 by v2. So better I will write formula once again. So that is t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4. Now we can substitute. V average is equals to d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus d4. Don't change it. It is given. So what is not given? Your time is not given. So d1 by v1. So d1 by v1 plus t2 is what? d2 by v2 plus t3 is what? d3 by v3 plus t4 d4 by v4. Okay. So now this is what's going to be your formula to find what? To find the average speed. To find the average speed to calculate when time is not given. When time is not given, d and v are given. Again, you may thought that how to remember all these formulas. Don't remember the formula. You just remember only this formula. Total distance divided by total time. Then what to do? With the help of v equals to d by t, you can manipulate. You can replace t by v or you can replace d by v, whatever. Okay. So this is what the formula. Okay. Now if in case is something, if and only if d1 is equals to d2 is equals to d3 is equals to d4. If situation is like this, So now what you will do? You can take it as common d. So P average is equals to d plus d plus d plus d divided by d by P1 plus d by P2 plus d by P3 plus d by P4. Take average is equals to d plus d plus d plus d, 4d whole divided by, here d is common, d. Can you take it outside? So take d out. So what remains is 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3 plus 1 by v4. So what will happen? D will get cancelled. So what will be your formula then? P average is equals to 4 divided by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3 plus 1 by v4. So this is what instead of here d, what will come? 4 will come. Okay. Suppose there are n number of distances. So if there are n number of distances, if there are n number of distances means say d1, d2, say d3, so on like so dn. So on like dn, we don't know, it may be 100 or 200, whatever. So what formula will become? Formula will become 4. 4 is what? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you are getting what? You are getting 4. Now how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. N are there. So what you can write? You can write n divided by. So divided by, as it is, 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2 plus 1 by v3 plus so on like 1 by v4, 1 by v5, 1 by v6, 7 like that. So and finally 1 by vn. 1 by vn. This is what the formula you can use also. Okay. So don't get confused that why we are going with so many formulas. I am just telling you what are the possibilities, how you can change the formula. This is very much required if you are going for JEE or if you are going for NEET like CET competitive exams. Okay. So we have to manipulate the formula. No need to remember each and every formula. You have to remember how we can derive the formula with one formula, that is what? P equals to d by t. Okay. So these are the what possibilities how we can get the different formula with the help of average speed. So we will discuss those things only when distance is given, time is not given. So suppose, for example, we can divide this distance as d1 and d2, and velocity is given are v1 and v2. So what will be our average velocity? Average velocity will be d1 plus d2 divided by t1 plus t2, but t1 and t2 are not given, only d1 v1 are given. So we know that v1 equals to d1 by t1. So t1 is what? d1 by v1. So d1 plus d2 whole divided by t1, you can write it as d1 by v1. So d1 by v1 plus t2, you can write it as d2 by v2. So like this you have to bring the formula yourself. Okay. So now if there are 3 plus d3 will come and d3 by p3 will come. Okay. So suppose d1 is equals to d2. Suppose d1 is equals to d2. This is also 10 km. This is also 10 km. So d1 equals to d2 equals to 10 km. Means I am taking d. So if that is the case, so how the formula will change? So formula will change it as P average is equals to d1 is also d, d2 is also d, whole divided by d by v1. So d by v1 plus d by v2. So d plus d will become what? 2d, whole divided by, take d outside. So what will happen? 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. So d will get cancelled. So 2 divided by 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. This is what the V average. If you want to reduce or make it more simple, so V average is equals to 2 divided by V1 and V2. Can you take LCM? So LCM is what? V1 into V2. So V1 into V2. Okay. So here V1 is there, so multiply with V2 plus here V2 is there, multiply with V1. So what you will get? Take V1 V2 here. So what will happen? V1 V2. 2 V1 V2 divided by V1 plus V2. So that is what V average. V average is equals to 2 V1 V2 divided by V1 plus V2. Like that also you can remember. Or suppose there are 3. Suppose there are 3. 1, 2. So if suppose there are 3. This is also D, this is also D, this is also D. And here it is V1, V2, V3. So how you can write? V average is equals to, so what you can write? D plus D whole divided by D by V1 plus D by V2 plus D by V3. So D plus D, you can write as 3D whole divided by. So take D outside, commonly. So what remain? 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2 plus 1 by V3. So D will get cancelled. 3 divided by. So 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2 plus 1 by V3. So what is the LCM? V1, V2, V3. So here V1 is there. What is not there? V2, V3 is not there. So V2, V3 plus V2 is there. V1, V3 is not there. So V1, V3 plus V3 is there. V2, V1 is not there. So V1, V2. So again what will happen? This will come to here. So 3 V1, V2, V3 whole divided by V1, V2 plus, sorry, V1, V2 is there, V2, V3 plus V1, V3. So this is what V average. Don't get confused. Just try to simplify. If you get it, it's okay. If you are getting confusion, don't worry. It will become easy when you go further. Okay. So this is how we can get the formulas for different things. So these kind of formula will help you in your competitive exams. Okay. So in this class we have discussed about the different forms of the what average speed formulae. So today we will go with all these things. Try to understand that one. In next class we will solve some numericals on this one, problems on this one. You will understand more. It will become more clear. Okay. So please practice this one. Try to reduce the formulas yourself in different forms. Okay. So what I suggest is spend some time on this one. Okay. So see you in the next class.